everybody, it's myafterschooltoys.com with this week's toy review, and we've got something fun today. We're going to talk about the Wheeled Warriors. Now, usually when I tell people about the Wheeled Warriors or we discuss it, everybody thinks of Jayce and the Wheeled Warriors. This is the cartoon we remember from the 80s about the evil plant men fighting the Lightning League, the good guys, but actually Jayce didn't come till later on. It seems like in the 80s one of two things happened. You either made cartoons to sell the toys, or you made toys to sell the cartoons. And in this case, this cartoon was made to sell these toys. So what we're going to do is kind of look at them today and talk a little bit about them and reminisce on how really cool these toys were. Now, there was no Jayce when these came out. They were just called the Wheeled Warriors, and there were two factions, the good guys and the bad guys. And you had the good guys here, called the Lightning League, and then you had the bad guys called the Monster Minds. And really what they were is a series of interchangeable vehicles that had all kinds of things that you could change out on them. There was wheels, guns, even the people themselves, you could change them around from vehicle to vehicle. You could put engines on them, missiles, all kinds of cool stuff. So we got a couple of vehicles here today we're going to talk about, but first I want to talk a little bit about these packs here. And this really was the selling point for these toys. You could buy these packs and they had all kinds of interchangeable things in them. It always came with a set of wheels, a set of weapons, figures, and then a little engine inside that you could change out. Now this is a bad guy pack. This is a Monster Mind pack, and these little brains right here on the side are actually what was supposed to drive the Monster Mind vehicles. So let's go ahead and flip it over here on the back and take a look at it. You can see some of the vehicles here that they had. Here's the bad guys, and Sawboss was the boss, and also in the cartoon. And then you can see the good guys here, and there's the Armed Force vehicle we're going to look at today, and Drill Sergeant as well. And then Armed Force was the one that Jayce drove in the cartoon. So those are very cool. Alright, and then here's just a little description of the things that came in the pack. So we'll go ahead and set that aside to give us some more room here. And we're going to start taking a look at the vehicles. So this was Armed Force. Armed Force came with a big gold arm on here, but I actually have the quick draw weapon on the top because I think it's really cool. It's like a little weapon that could throw a star or use it as a, I don't know, kind of like a saw hammer device. It was really cool. So I'm going to show you how these function here. Let's get a good centered view. It came with a chassis here that was detachable. So what you could do with this chassis is actually take off the wheels here, like this, and then we'll go ahead and just put on some solid gold wheels, like this. And you can see from what I got here, I have a ton of wheels that you could actually interchange, like that. Very good. Okay, so we have the gold wheels here on the chassis. And then you just go ahead and put the vehicle back on. You can put them on in the back, you could put it on in the front, however you wanted to fit it in. And then you could pop off the weapons on the top here and pick something from your weapons pile. And I think I will pick a giant missile to put on the top. Just like that. So there you go. And you could also put them on the front if you wanted to. You could put it on the side or the back. And you could also stack weapons on top. So if you wanted to put a lot of missiles on your vehicle, there you go. So that was a really cool feature about it. I loved these kind of toys from the 80s. Things like Transformers and there's all kinds of vehicles. Mask and things like this that weren't just one toy. You could use them as different kinds of toys when you get them. And that's what really is cool about these, is that playability. So you can see guns on the side there. There's some little missiles on the side. And then the hatch opened up, and we'll talk about these little people here. Now, as far as detail goes, there's not a lot. But remember, there was no really cartoon to base it on, so they just kind of made a little simple sculpt on here, like that. And you can see he kind of, it's hard to get a good look on this. You can see he has some glasses sculpted on his face, whereas other ones just had different color hair and just minor variations to their uniforms. So we'll go ahead and put him back in, like that. And then we'll change him up. We're going to take his chassis off, And we'll put the Drill Sergeant chassis on like this. And voila, you got a whole nother vehicle with a big engine on the back, like that. And we'll go ahead and slap another little gun on the front. So very cool vehicles. Alright, so we're going to set those aside and we're going to talk about one of the big vehicles. Monster Minds had one, and then the Wheeled Warriors had one as well, the Lightning Link. And this is called the Trailblazer. What was cool about this toy, besides it being big and having tons of ports on it for all kinds of weapons and missiles, was it was motorized. And we're going to look at that in just a second here. You can see in the front it's got like a saw blade, like this, swinging one. It's got a canopy with a driver as well, just like that. And then what you could do with your vehicles, like this one, drive them up the ramp and load them right on top, just like that. And now the Trailblazer becomes a transport. So we're going to get him to walk here. I've done a video a long time ago of just the Trailblazer walking, so you can see that on one of my videos from earlier. But we're going to do it here for just a little bit. We'll scoot him over to the side and turn on the button and watch him walk. There we go. So, not the smoothest movement. In fact, he shook so hard he threw off one of his guns. Well, for a toy this big to walk on its own, it's pretty cool. Let's do it again here. So, I love the Trailblazer. It's really cool. And actually, the way these feet are set up, it has no problem going over carpet and other surfaces. It just doesn't really go that fast. But still very cool. It's an awesome toy. So that's it, short and sweet, a quick review of the Wheeled Warriors, or also Jayce and the Wheeled Warriors, as some of you may know from the cartoon. Hope you enjoyed the review. We have these toys and many, many others on our website at myafterschooltoys.com, and you can Facebook us at After School Toys. We're kind of trying to get that page going, so if you'd like to do that as well. And until next time and next review, long live the 80s.